Hello YouTube, this is ChardarYuGiOh. I uploaded a video a couple days ago talking about what you should look for in playtesting, and I'm just going to expand upon that more. And I'm going to talk about playtesting in person today, and some of the things that I think you should try when you're doing that. Online playtesting is fantastic, and it's a great way to get a lot of games in and familiarize yourself with your own deck. But I don't think it's the best way for understanding the meta, or at least specific decks in the meta. I was hoping to go to a regional tomorrow, but I live in Indiana, and weather is not going to allow that. But that's fine. I just spent like 4 hours playtesting before I came back home here. And I think one of the most valuable things you can do is if you have friends or know people who've been playing the same deck for a very long time, like my friend Josh, who's been in a ton of my videos, has been playing Burning Abyss for about 2-3 months now, and I've been playing Cliff Forts since about a month before their TCG release. I was playtesting them in OCG and on DN and stuff. So we both know our decks pretty well. We're not the best, but we know our decks pretty well. Excuse me. And then when you play with someone else's deck, or when you're playing against someone, you can share insights into their deck. Like, when I'm playing Cliff Forts, I'll show him my hand, because it's a playtesting match, and the idea is to build knowledge of each other's decks, not so much to win. I'll show him my hand, say, what would be the most damaging play I can do against you now? And you just run situations like that. You can offer new insights into their deck, like, perhaps they'll see a combo, or they'll see a move that you hadn't thought of. A good example when we were playtesting was, I was playing with his Burning Abyss deck, and I have a tour guide and a graph on the field. It's his turn. He max C'd me playing my Cliff Forts. He used max C on the tour guide, drew one card. And in my experience playing with Cliff Forts, you really, really want your opponent to keep special summoning so you can draw as many cards. Because it doesn't really matter how big of a field you set up. You are not going to be able to stop a stealth and, say, 2 or 3 carrier effects going off. Cliff Forts will rip you apart. Do not take Maxi challenge against Cliff Forts. So I just stopped, and he was debating whether he should attack the tour guide or should attack the graph. And he thought that he should attack the graph because it leaves a dead tour guide on there. So he attacks the graph, I summon a Scarm, pop the Scarm, search a second tour guide, next turn summon tour guide, summon a negated BA, overlay the 2 tour guides. And he hadn't thought of that. So it's just, you can offer new insights into your opponent's deck that maybe they get so into the routine of playing a deck that they don't think of those combos. You can also highlight weaknesses of other decks. Like, before tonight, he had complained about how broken and unfair and easy to play Cliff Forts are. But then, when you start playing with the deck, you realize that Cliff Forts are extremely powerful, but they're also a glass cannon, and that they're extremely fragile. Like, they have severe weaknesses and can be easily stopped if they don't get their engine going, or they can't overpower through things. So it just focuses on weaknesses. Like, Burning Abyss have several limiting factors, and you really have to think about which monsters you're going to special summon and which ones you need their engrave effects. And you only get one normal summon. As much as the deck special summons, your one normal summon, what you choose to do with that is very critical. And I would not have thought of that if I hadn't just spent 2 hours playing with a Burning Abyss deck. So, playtesting in this way helps you understand the decks very well, and especially, and it gives you an opportunity to play with and against them. So it just offers insight into the strengths and weaknesses of each individual deck. I really wish we had a friend with a Shadal deck, or who was really good with Shadals, so we could playtest like that, but you can only ask for so much, especially in my area. And the last benefit to playtesting in this way is, quite frankly, it's just more fun. Like, I've been friends with Josh since the start of my freshman year of high school, so there are very few people who I would really want to. I'm not saying I would be unwilling to, but there are a few people who I would want to sit down and play Yu-Gi-Oh! For 5 hours with, especially Cliff Fort versus Burning Abyss, back and forth. Like, there are very few people who could make that fun and enjoyable, but we had a good time with it. Like, we just hung out, we chatted. We did a few other things other than playtesting, but we got a lot of very valuable insights, and I think it's going to come in very handy when we're going to ARG State Championships tonight, obviously weather permitting. Not tonight. Next weekend is the ARG State Championship that we're both really geared up for, and we're kind of just trying to get prepared for that. So if you have suggestions for playtesting down there, you can talk about your own playtesting experiences, just anything like that, go ahead and do that. Thumb up the video if you agree with me, and peace out, YouTube.